Hello and welcome to another edition of AttractWell Office Hours. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by founder of AttractWell, Greg Kilwine. Hey, Greg.
Hello, everyone. Really glad you're here today.
We are thrilled to have you here today. And if you are someone with a big wish list for what you want for your business, then today is going to be a great call for you. If you are someone who knows that you want to have funnels, websites, different levels of offers for your business, maybe memberships, programs, one-on-one, whatever that looks like for you, maybe a variety of things, you are really going to enjoy today because we're not only going to talk through some of the questions and variables that help you to create a wish list that's doable, that doesn't feel completely overwhelming, but we're also going to actually sit down with a member of our community and talk through some real life examples and considerations. So I hope that you are excited to learn today. Go ahead and turn off those distractions, head over into the chat and let us know where you're coming in from and what you do, and maybe where you are in the process of fulfilling your own business wish list. I've got some slides to get into today. We have some exciting announcements. We have a couple folks who signed up for live work reviews. Got a lot to get into. So we're going to go ahead and hop out of video and get into today's content. So again, welcome. So excited to have you here as always. Such a great opportunity to connect with all these inspiring folks doing great work out there in the world. Maybe you're coaching, consulting, creating courses, content, maybe a little bit of all of the above. We're thrilled to have you here with us, where you've got an all-in-one platform to serve your entire business, from getting found all the way through to fulfillment with AttractWell. So today on Office Hours, we're going to address the question about what I should move, or maybe the more accurate way to put this, because this isn't just about migration today. It's what should I move, or what should I create or build first? So if you have a coaching or services or combination type business, you're going to find this particularly relevant because the individual we're bringing out on today's call is someone who has a coaching and services business. But if you are someone, again, who has a lot of things that you know you'd like to do, or you are looking to move over to AttractWell from another platform, you're going to walk away today, I think, with a much clearer idea of where your feet go first. So today we are going to share quickly an update on page design in AttractWell and member area discussion, a really exciting thing that Greg is going to show us. We're going to talk about how to turn that business wish list of yours into a doable to-do list. And then, of course, we'll get into life help and Q&A as always. Now, you can head over into the Q&A now on Zoom if you're joining us here live. If you have questions that you would like to have addressed maybe here on the call, even if they don't pertain to today's topic, you're welcome to do so. If you'd like to join us on a call like this one in the future, you can go to attractwell.com/office hours to be invited to our live Zoom calls. They're free for everyone. And if you would like to work together live, as several folks have signed up to do here today, you can go to attractwell.com/work review. And if you need a hand, if at any point you would like to maybe have more than just you doing the work on your wish list, we've got a team that's able to help you fulfill anything there on your wish list that pertains to the use of your AttractWell account. So head over to attractwell.com/concierge to learn more about our team and request a call with them. The call is completely free. You'll fill out a form, give them an idea of what it is that you're looking for, and then on that call they can ask you some questions, and then they will get back with you for a quote. So definitely go meet our team, and you guys can work on some great things together. Now, before I go any further, Greg, let's hear about these cool updates that you've recently made to the system.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Ashley. Let me share my screen. That's where all the fun stuff is happening here today. So we've got a number of page builder updates and improvements that I'm going to show you here quickly. There's a number of them. I'm going to kind of breeze through here, and I know we've got another important topic coming up, so I won't take too long. But first of all, there's a couple more page templates available. So if you click on Add when you're in the page builder, and actually just step back up. So page builder is over here under Pages. Click on Add, and this is some of our pages that are available, the page templates. The new ones, there's a new sales page over here. This one with the countdown timer. It's pretty much the same one as the gray sales page, but it has a countdown timer on it. So you can click that, pull it up, scroll down to where the countdown timer is, click on that, change your date, time, and you can customize that there. And there's another template here too. Let me go back to Add. It is I believe it is the confirmation. No, it's the, well, I lost that one. Where was it at? Landing registration. Here it is. So the workshop registration with a countdown timer. This is an all new one. new template, but here's the timer. You can preview it to see more of what you have, what's available there. So, yeah, that's that. So there's a few other changes inside the page builder itself to the tool, not just templates. But anywhere that one change is, you can previously click this pencil icon to pull up, for example, the section settings here with the background color and such. There's a new shortcut here, like if you double click anywhere that it doesn't hover, if you double click over here, it will also pull that up as well. So that's another little shortcut nicety that's been added there. If you use the page builder in the last couple slider menu, it wasn't always obvious that there was a page footer or header, and some people found it hard to find. So we have that little checkbox there just to, or a little slider, so you can see that at a glance what page has it on and off. And if you want to see what header is being used, click the pencil, it'll open it up to that page. Then you can change down here in the header if you want to change whatever it is, light, dark, not, turn it off, whatever, you can do all that down here. In addition, there's a number of new sections. Oh, actually, before that, so there's this little, previously you could always do this. There was this, add a new section by clicking in the middle. But as you can see now, it's like faintly there, so you can kind of see that you can click there. Makes it a little bit more obvious and easier to discover that there is a way of doing that. Instead of just clicking add and then having to move it into whatever section, you can just click right in the middle and pick the section that you want it to go in between. And along those lines, there are several new sections that you can add to your page. I'll start with this one, column one. We have a new one here. It's a single pricing box. Great if you have a single offer that you're providing. Just change the description, click on the header, mastermind, whatever you want to do here. Change the price. If you're not in the US, for example, and you want to, I don't know, put a euro in there or whatever, you could do that. I don't know. There's just different. Change the price per month, per session. What there's any sort of options that you have there. You can click on here, customize it. So that's one of the pricing boxes. There's a 2-column version of that as well. Down here. Oops, I actually right here in front of me. These two, section one here, and then there's a 3 pricing box as well under the 3 columns. So if I go over here, you can see what that looks like. And any of these are all customizable with the style tool too. So you can like hover over here if you don't like that gray background. You could do something different. Pop in a little color on there, lighten up the opacity, add a shadow or something like that if you want to pop one of those on there. There's just all kinds of things you could do with that to give it a little bit of extra pop or to match your brand or whatever you want to do there as well. So that's 3 of the page sections. There's also a new, this is called a 2-column explainer. Basically, it can be used as a bio as well. You've got your headline copy. It's sort of this 1-column, 2-column thing with one background image in here. And, again, you can like edit the background image and change that out with whatever you want to, or video or solid color, or you name it. But this is set up to have, if you got a photo in the upper right, you can set that up there as well. And there's also one more, which is a 3-column no header, a simplified version of this one here, just so in case you want 3 columns, easy without having to delete a whole bunch of things, you can have that this 3-column section as well and easily customize that. There's also been a little change for inside the form field editor here. There's an easy way to, I don't know if this is in here. So if you have custom fields added on here, field, there's now a duplicate. So people were having problem, or they wanted a shortcut. They had a long list, they had a list field, and maybe there were just slightly different items on each list, or they wanted to have, pick 3 of the same thing. There's now a copy. So you click copy and it makes a copy of your field for you. So you don't have to re-enter that. It's just kind of a little nicety to speed that up. And then finally, so that's kind of the wrap of the page builder changes. Finally, there is another setting here in the discussion room area under vaults. So if I pop into here and find where is that? Here's a discussion room. So click on this discussion room down here under branding and messaging. There's a new checkbox that allows you to, it basically says allow non-admin participants to make posts. And what this will do, if you uncheck that, only admins can make posts. People can still comment, but we've had people with larger groups of people in a discussion room, and they wanted to have more flexibility in terms of like controlling who's posting and commenting and posting in general. And so this is a new setting that helps accommodate those people with larger groups. So I think that's a wrap on the changes. I'll pass it back over to you, Ashley.
Awesome. Thank you, Greg. All right, so today, guys, like we promised, we are going to be talking about how to make our wish list doable. So we want all the things for our business. We want to have multiple offers. We want to have a lead generating funnel that maybe leads toward a sales funnel. Maybe we have folks automatically converting onto particular offers and then moving up the ladder. Maybe you want to have a membership, right? There's lots of things that you know you want to have, but you're not quite sure where you go first. So we are going to be talking through a live sort of real life scenario with a member of our community here today, but I wanted to make sure that we've got just from a high level overview, an understanding of the sort of questions you want to be asking yourself that will unveil what that looks like. Because everybody here, while two of us may share a similar sort of discipline, we have uniquely very different businesses. We have different priorities for how we want to run our business, how we want to spend our time, how we would like to interact with the public, with clients, with leads, etc. So there is no one right answer for everyone, which does kind of make this feel a little huge and confusing if you don't have someone holding your hand and telling you what you need to do next. So if you know you want all the things, how do we know what goes first? So first thing that I want you to get clear on is a near-term objective. Now, I'm going to share a few of them with you that are the most popular, most common ones. Yours might be different. Remember, when I say near-term objective, this isn't a forever term objective, right? This is just the next 30 to 60 days, maybe 90 days max before you shift objective to the next thing and begin working on the next phase. Quite often, if we are starting from, from just a handful of steps into our journey and we've got a clear idea of what we want 1,000 steps ahead, we understand that we're not going to be making that entire journey to 1,000 steps inside of 90 days, right? It may be that we're breaking that up into pieces. So we want to make sure that we're just really kind of clear on what the first thing is, because once we get the first thing done, typically everything else starts to feel a lot more doable after we knock out that first thing. So a very common objective, near-term objective for folks who are coming to AttractWell is to lower overhead. This typically means that you have an existing business where you have your courses in one place, your website in one place, you've got your email happening in another, you've got a bunch of different things that you are having to manage and pay for. So this could be an overhead of time in terms of your tech, or an overhead of price. So if your objective is to get off of the other platforms and onto AttractWell quickly, then your order of operations is going to look quite a bit different from someone whose objective is more to keep the existing stuff the same, but then develop their new things on AttractWell and then phase out what they have elsewhere, right? So if lowering overhead is a near-term priority for you, then there will be certain steps that you're going to want to follow. Increasing lead flow. Maybe you have a couple of existing things in place, but you want to get more people in front of them. This is a case where we want to make sure that we have a funnel set up, for example. Another near-term objective would be to launch a new offer, meaning I have other offers, I'm currently serving clients, or maybe I'm brand new, but I want to create an offer and sell that offer. Or you're someone who has a few things already in place, but you want to improve them, you want to make them better. So these are the examples that I'm providing. But what I want you to do, regardless of whether yours is on this list or not, is to get clear on what the absolute top priority is for you. The big picture one. Are you looking to save money? Are you looking to make more money? Like, what is the most important thing to you right now? All right, then we want to ask, what do we have already? What already exists for us, for the business that we have today? Do we have an email list? Where is it? Do we have a website? Where is that? Do you have a lead funnel? Do we have a sales funnel? Do we have sales tools for the things that we already have, right? So a sales page, or you have a way to book people onto discovery calls so that you can sell one-on-one. Finally, we want to think about our variables, and they all have one very important thing in common, and that is your business as it exists right now. Because the last thing that we want to do when we start moving and changing things is drop the ball with people who we have already committed to serve, right? So, first, what are you selling right now? What is the thing that is making your business money right now? Is that something that you want to continue doing? Is that something that you want to continue to have operating in the background while you develop and launch the next thing? How are you serving the people that you've already sold? If you, for instance, have sold access to a course or program and it's on a non-AttractWell platform, do you intend to phase out, keep them where they are, and then run the next offer on AttractWell, or do you need to migrate your people? Then how, and this is critical because this is the business that you have right now, we don't want to jeopardize it. Where are you currently collecting payment? Is that something that will need to change? And what will happen if it does? How are you currently converting your sales? So is that with an automated tool such as a sales funnel, right? With sales pages, videos, etc., or is that on one-on-one calls? Finally, for the business and the offers that you are currently selling right now, what is working to bring people in? Because again, if it ain't broke, we don't want to fix it, right? If people are coming in, you're successfully bringing in new clients for an offer that you have. We want to make sure that whatever you're doing, if you're going to migrate, is not going to radically change or disrupt a thing that's already working. All right. So we're going to bring out a member of our community and talk through a real life example with someone who has a coaching and services business and kind of talk through what moving over would look like. Hey, Angeline, I have allowed you to talk if you want to unmute yourself. Welcome. Excited to have you here today.
Hi there. Hopefully you can't see me because I'm not camera ready, but I'm
It's
here.
okay. Totally
Okay,
fine. Totally
good,
fine.
good.
Yeah. So I guess just to kind of read everybody in, you have an existing business that you've been running for quite some time. You do
Yes,
accounting services, right?
that's
Um,
correct.
and you haven't really done a lot, I think, over that time in the way of sort of putting yourself out there digitally. You've been very referral based, right?
Yeah, I've been very referral based in terms of bringing in clients, but I use a lot of digital products to serve them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and because it is because of the specialized work that you do, there's a high likelihood that some of those digital products that you use are going to still be a part of how you serve your clients, right? Because we're talking about accounting softwares and setting people up with things that they use for their businesses, right?
Yes, yes, and also business intelligence and the dashboards and all of that. So that
Got
will
you.
remain the same. Yep.
Okay, so it's my understanding, because we've conversed about this a little bit, that you have a primary services model right now, and you're wanting to focus more on coaching offerings. Is that right?
Yeah, and I won't be too wordy here, but when I first started 20 years ago, I had a strategy, and what I wanted to do was consulting. I came from KPMG Consulting, but I have an accounting degree. So what I wanted to do was consulting, but I thought I would be better, do better selling accounting. And so
Hmm.
my goal was to sell the accounting, have the clients, and then sell the consulting because I would get them
Okay,
in the door. The challenge that I had is nobody was interested in the financials other than to have a specific objective of getting taxes done, or if they're nonprofits, having their board meeting. And so the selling of the consulting wasn't working because they didn't think they needed it. And so now I have flipped that um, flow. And now I'm selling the coaching services, and I can use the financial management and accounting skills to help them meet their goals. So I'm sort of just flipping it around and bringing them in the way that I would actually like to serve them in the first place, instead of just doing bookkeeping and doing rote work, which is fine, but that wasn't my initial goal. Um, if that makes
Okay.
sense, if that
It
answers your
does.
question.
It does, yeah. And so that offer where you've got the sort of consulting coaching on the front end, that is something that you're currently selling, right? And fulfilling?
That is the goal, and I have slowly started to move away from those clients that are not my ideal clients and that just wanted books done. And so
Okay.
I'm slowly picking up coaching clients. Financial management and business strategy is what I'm focusing on, and that's the intersection between strategy and the financials. And I'm picking up people who have come to me to have their QuickBooks set up. And as we're engaging, I can show them different ways they can read their financials, and I've picked them up that way. But my goal is to start lead generating and having a sales funnel so that I can demonstrate the value of the services more broadly and bring people in more quickly.
Okay. Okay. So what would you say then your kind of major near-term goal would be for your business? Where it comes
Well,
to using AttractWell?
and that's where I'm stuck because I
Okay.
have all the pieces. I have, other than the audience, I have the value proposition, the website, everything ready. I even have the coaching platform. I just found a new one that I like. And so for me, I'm not sure where to start. Do I start with a sales funnel? Do I start with lead generation? Knowing that, in answering your question, my immediate concern is bringing in revenue, since I've been making time available by not taking on other clients. And so I'm losing revenue, and I need
Hmm.
to begin to replace that rather quickly. And so that's
Okay.
the top priority.
Okay. Yeah. So, so the majority of your connections who you've been bringing into your business, that's been from networking and referrals, right?
Yes. Yeah. Actually,
Okay.
from client referrals, networking. Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Okay. And so I'm clear as well, when you mentioned a coaching platform for your clients, um, what does that entail? And is that something like basically is fulfillment for your clients something that you intend to use AttractWell for, or that you intend to use like a third party platform for?
Well, I've been flip-flopping on that because I've been having a hard time finding the fulfillment platform, but I just recently went back to Coach Accountable and took my time, because initially I was overwhelmed and because I thought I could do it all myself. And so I took my time and I went back from the beginning, and I followed their videos and everything. And so I have a hang of it. And the reason I want to keep that is because I want to be able to not have to build up what you guys have offered in terms of creating that platform by using your tools. This one is already ready. And given that time is of the essence, and I really, really like that one, I do want to keep that. So
Okay.
part of the challenge there is I don't want to use it as a lead generator.
Right.
And so even though I can bring in prospects, I will be paying for those prospects. I would rather get the prospects through AttractWell,
Hmm.
do whatever I need to do to get them signed up, and then bring them in once they're signed up as coaching clients.
Okay.
So there may be some overlap, but not um, direct, if that makes sense.
It does. It does. I understand perfectly. So, so then essentially what we're looking at is creating the front end of your business with AttractWell. And then once someone converts to becoming a client, you can then manually plug them in, because these are going to be one-on-one clients anyway, manually plug them in with whatever the resources are on the back end. So you would be taking payment in AttractWell, for instance, and then you would, after they've paid, they're in your AttractWell system for your contact management and everything. But then you would, have your own little checklist that you probably already use. to
Mm-hmm.
get them into all of the resources. All right, so you are ready for fulfillment. It
Well,
lives somewhere else, right?
one change though, Ashley, and this is,
Mhm.
I'm glad you mentioned that, is because part of the packages that I have developed to sell, the system will let me know, let's say if I sell a 6 package engagement, when they schedule one of the 6, that system will let me know how many they have left. And so
Okay.
taking payment in that system is going to be important.
Okay.
And so that's where the difference is. It looks like I'll be taking payment in both systems depending on the service, because I
Got you.
still want to do the membership and the courses through AttractWell.
Got you.
And that's where I
Understood.
would take payments. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, perfect. So the one-on-one coaching, which is where you would be doing the fulfillment on the other platform, that's going to
Yes.
require that someone have a private call with you before you take them in as a client anyway. And
Yes.
so there's less to be concerned about in terms of like what information we put in front of them. Obviously, we do need to put information in front of them, but when it's time for them to make a decision, we're not relying on, sales videos, funnels, click automations and stuff like that. You've had the conversation in that case. So
Right.
here's what I would do. That's your best opportunity to generate revenue right now is that offer, right?
Well, yeah. But I kind of want to, I can start with that, but ultimately, I want to be able to expand by not just selling time for money and
For real.
get
Yeah.
into the course creation and memberships. And so that's also a dilemma because where do I start? I can right away start, earning and delivering the one-on-one, but and at the same time scale with the courses and membership. But is that the appropriate approach is
Right.
what I'm wondering.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be all or nothing, but it is important to kind of keep an idea of what your goal is for. So
Okay.
if and I think this is going to be really valuable for a lot of people here to kind of internalize, because I think a lot of us do work one-on-one with clients and we would like to expand beyond that. Basically,
Mhm,
what you want to think about is what's your maximum capacity, right? You
mhm,
need to
mhm,
continue generating income, and if what you're doing is only focusing on the people who've already paid you and
mhm,
the program that can't be sold yet, then then we're going to continue to lose that revenue stream, right? So
mhm,
so I would essentially say, like, what is the maximum capacity for the number of people that you can serve at a given time? So that way you can keep like that minimum focus happening there so that you're able
mhm,
to have enough of, maybe if you have an idea of how many calls it takes before someone converts to a client, then you want to make sure that you've
mhm.
got X number of appointments per month so that you've always got people in that pipeline.
Yes,
And then of
yes,
course you can always dial that back. So
yes,
I'm
yeah.
basically figuring out how to split your time between what supports the business that I have right now, and then
Mhm,
developing the assets for the business that I want. So
mhm,
what I would do first is make sure that you've got those systems in place that support in as leveraged a way as possible the business that you have right now. So the offer that exists that you can make money off of right now,
yes.
so that up to the number of clients that, if you cut it off at 3 at a time or whatever that looks like, you're good.
Mhm,
So
yep.
for that, what I would recommend that you have in place on your AttractWell site is, of course, you want to have a homepage. But
Mhm,
the really important pieces here are going to be, you have like a services or a work with me page.
yes.
And on
I
that services,
mhm.
go ahead.
No, I thought that was a question, and I have the contents of that, but I don't have the page yet. So
Okay.
yes, I'm
Oh,
ready for it.
fabulous. Good. You're almost there.
Yep, yep.
Then from there, you want to have, essentially you want to have a page that, kind of sets expectations for what it's going to look like on a call together. Maybe have any of those intake questions that you might ask before a discovery call.
Mhm,
Um,
I have that. Mhm,
Excellent. And then on the next page, you've got a page that has your, and I think I saw you use Acuity. So have your Acuity form embedded on a page on your AttractWell site. And so
mhm,
that's essentially, you have a call booking funnel that is connected to your services page. That is, of course, connected to your home page. That would be sort of you know, the basis that we start from. So that way, when
Okay.
you're out there in the world networking and you're connecting with people, if someone wants to refer to you, they can, you know, you can actually tell any of your clients, instead of telling them to have their friends email you, you can actually share your website with your clients, have them share it with their friends, and their friends can actually go straight there, learn about you, sign up for a call right there. Right. So that's
Okay.
removing some of that administrative back and forth there for you, adding that
Okay.
person who signed up there as a lead, et cetera. So you've got your lead funnel there. Or rather, that would be like your conversion event. You know, you're going to connect with that person and then sell them your coaching.
Right.
So then the next thing that you would want to focus on is your the offer that you want to create. So what the next leverage thing is. Now, I think you had mentioned to me you already have content. Do you already have content ready, or you have an idea
Yes.
of what you want to create?
Yes, I have the content, I have the offer. Everything is ready to go with regard to the flagship or the primary service that is going to be money making. It's not the service I have been selling, but that's what I'm trying to transition to. And I
Right.
have one client I'm working with there, and they're actually agreeing to, give feedback and have me improve on that.
Excellent.
And so my challenge is I'm thinking I need to have an audience so that I can do some lead generating, because I don't want to continue to rely on the referrals, because they've been referring the people that I now know are not my people.
Right.
Um, so that's the challenge. I've
Yeah.
been
Oh no,
selling the
it's
right
fine.
product
So
to the wrong people.
you're good. You're good. So that's going to be the next thing that we address here. So
Okay.
what basically, like, yeah, absolutely. We need to open the floodgates. We need to have a place to send them first. So
Yes.
first, that's your
Okay.
website, right?
Gotcha.
And
Yeah.
then from there, in terms of this offer that you have, you said you have the content for it. Can you tell me more about this is a program that you would be offering in
Yes.
AttractWell,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So it is sort of in phases, and so the first phase is the goal setting, the making sure I identify what their goals are, and I will help them through that by making sure that they think about it in terms of tying it to objectives that they want to meet in their business, which are mostly financial. There are some, because I have a background in process improvement and getting more efficient. But for the most part, that leads to the bottom line as well. And then once the goals are set, we work on the action plan. What are the steps to getting there? And then we set up the metrics, and that's where the business intelligence comes in. And we then, after that, is sort of a maintenance, whereas the coaching is sort of seeing whether that plan is working, is sort of getting their feedback, checking the metrics, and then building that dashboard when the financials, whether it's monthly, and seeing the progress along the way of their financials to see what goals they're meeting.
Got
And
you.
then, so the idea is that they can, and I don't know if this will work or if I should just go full force with this, but I also considered the fact that people may not want to do it long term, and they just want to do the goal setting, get the action plan, and go away. But the people have to come into the program having done that foundational work first, and
Okay.
then they can come back if they want. But nobody can just come in going, help me reach my goals, and we don't know what they are. So
Got you.
that's what
Yeah.
I have put together.
Okay, so the delivery mode for this, is this one-on-one coaching as well, or is this
Yes,
it's one-on-one
this
coaching?
this is one-on-one, but I also have everything to put it into modules in a course
Okay.
as well. And so that's why I'm looking at if you want to just set the foundation, or if you want to go through the whole process, because they can enter the course and then work with me one-on-one for the maintenance.
Got
So
you.
it's different entry points into the coaching maintenance, which is getting into tracking making sure that their operations are connected to their goals, so that they're looking at the 30,000-foot level as well as the granular, and making sure they connect.
Okay, great. So what this looks like when you sell it then, or what you have in mind for this is you've got is this continuity, or is this a one-time payment for this offer?
This is continuity. The way that I set up the payment, I did a pricing brainstorming, and the for the foundation that has to be paid in full, and then the packages they can purchase are different scales of packages for the maintenance to focus on the goals and the action plan. And
Okay.
that they can either pay, monthly ongoing, or they can pay as a package if they only want 6 months of maintenance or 3 months of maintenance.
Okay. Okay. So this is how I see it then, because you already have the content for this in terms of like
Mhm.
you would be coaching folks one-on-one. Uh,
Yes.
I would just go ahead, again, knowing that the higher level objective here is to start selling this, right?
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
I would go ahead and create a sales page for this
Okay.
offer.
Yes.
Um, and basically the way that you're looking at this is that you don't, do you want to, here to rephrase my question, because this is just a question.
Mhm.
Do you want to use, do you want to use strategy calls still to get people into this program?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I actually, yes, I do. I
Okay.
want to do that, but I also can envision having a funnel because I actually have the visuals because it's so much language in my quote,
Mm,
of explaining the detail that I have a visual roadmap of what it looks like. I have a mind map of all the connectivity, and then I have a list of deliverables over top of the roadmap. I have the tools and technology that we would use. And so I have different slides to show all together what the engagement looks like. And I usually do
okay.
that in a PowerPoint presentation as I'm giving the quote, and that's after this discovery call has been made.
Okay, perfect. So, sooner rather than later, I would consider creating, like turning that PowerPoint into a sales presentation that you could use
Okay.
eventually in your funnel.
Okay.
But since you know that that's something you're going to be doing on discovery calls anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so long as you have, and this is like for anyone who closes sales with discovery calls, you don't have to have a sales page right now. If you
Mm-hmm.
know that you're going to be speaking to everybody who you ultimately sign on as clients, you don't need
Mm-hmm.
a sales page, but a PDF would be fine if you want to make a page that explains things, or if you are going to be, if it's going to be continuity, you'll be using a vault for taking
Mm-hmm.
payment. So you could just use the
Mm-hmm.
vault checkout page and have everything lined up there. Maybe that short video that gives you that explainer, just in case after their call with you, they need to recall some of the details, have questions, et cetera, before they put payment in. So
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to
Okay.
go to the same, extent of creating a really big drawn out pain point conversation sales page if your means of selling is a conversation. So I would really
Okay.
just have something that outlines, here are the deliverables, here, are the time frames, the breakdown, the price, et cetera, and just have that as a tool that you can use, because you're going to, again, be doing the selling on the call. And that's just a
Yeah.
thing that's going to, facilitate the close in a very light way. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so
A
have some,
question on
yeah.
that, Ashley.
Mhm.
What I have done, and it seems so labor intensive, is I have the call first, then I reschedule a Zoom with the PowerPoint presentation because in the presentation, I find that I speak to their pain points that I've learned on the call. And so, even though that's a long, drawn out sales process, that's one thing that I'm trying to figure out how to automate, which I
Mm,
probably won't get it as customized as I'd like. But and I just wanted to put that out there to see if that um, is something that you recommend. Am I taking too
mm.
long with the sale, or
You
um,
know, you know, I it can work well if if it's continuity, and you have a history of keeping clients for a long period of time. If you see that this is something that really makes, I mean, it really just boils down to, does the money make sense, right, for
gotcha?
the
Okay,
time that you put into it.
okay,
I would err on the side of maybe collecting as much of that pain point information as possible using an
mhm.
intake
The
form
intake
prior to
form. Yep,
booking.
yep,
That way
right,
you
yep.
can plug those things into your presentation. And I would be, be light in general, more so with the stuff that's on the presentation. If you are actually like customizing
Mm-hmm.
your PowerPoint for
Mm-hmm.
your person here, to, you know, basically make some space for, you know, for anything that they might not have told you yet, because you don't want to, I mean, it is smart to like not make a PowerPoint presentation for your person to close them before
Mm-hmm.
you've actually spoken with them. So
Yeah.
maybe another thing that you might consider doing is, again, just kind of creating more of a template for that presentation. Maybe in the
Mm-hmm.
first half of the call, you're asking some of those questions, maybe making some minor modifications as you're chatting with them on those
Mm-hmm.
slides. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then using that to kind of make the, so you're doing the sort of intro, just speaking with
Mm-hmm.
them, taking notes, etc. And then
Mm-hmm.
you're adding those in and then giving the pitch on the same call.
On the same call. Okay.
Yeah, that would
Wonderful.
be
And
generally my recommendation. Now, if you
you
know, if this is someone who is on, you know, annual continuity and, you know, in 5 figures, you
right.
know, then obviously you're do the two
You
presentations, you
You hit
know.
the nail on the head, though. I think I know how to eliminate the need for that is because my intake form hasn't been fully customized. I have had to take out some of the questions that lend to the services of accounting, like what platform do you use? How many
Mhm.
transactions do you have? And I sort of just really got a watered down intake form for this, and I need to be more specific. And that's
Mhm.
what would help me not have to collect as much information on the call, and I can go to the sales part of it.
Yeah, and I
So,
think for
yeah,
the offer that you're moving toward, I think that you can focus more on the pain point questions, right?
yes,
Where you're
yeah,
asking about like, what are you bringing in now? What do you want to be bringing in? What are your practices? And, you know, just stuff like that. It gives you
yeah,
enough to work with to close without having
okay,
to, because at this point you aren't necessarily for this offer, this one that you're developing, um,
hmm,
you aren't proposing that you become their accountant.
right, right,
So the pitch is
okay,
different. So I don't think
yep,
that you have to really go to that same extent. And you definitely don't need to have a sales page that does all of that either. So I think
great,
having the first thing that I would do in a case like yours is to get your website set up with your booking
hmm,
funnel, and then get out there and start creating content.
okay. Just because I have you here now, because I rebranded as well in preparation for all of this. I have a DBA for the coaching. And so I have both domains pointed to my current website in Wix. Do you have in AttractWell the capability of allowing the old domain to point to AttractWell as well as the one that I'm using for coaching so I don't lose any traffic? People
So
who have looked for me under the old domain?
So what I would do is take the domain that you want, and basically put everything up on AttractWell that you want, then point that or connect that domain to AttractWell. And then in your
Mhm,
hosting for the old website,
mhm,
you would point that toward AttractWell. So only one of these would be your AttractWell website, but you would
yep,
just be forwarding
I
traffic
can
from the
point
other
to.
one
Yeah,
to the new
that's
one.
what I'm
Yeah.
doing with Wix. So that so it's not AttractWell, it's just that I have the ability to point a domain. Is okay, I didn't
Yeah, and you would
understand
actually
that.
do
So
that in the domain management of wherever you
got it.
purchase and manage that domain. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yep, doing that
Yeah.
now. So that's good.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
So
Yep.
wrapping up here with sort of the big picture steps, you already have fulfillment for your existing stuff worked out. You just need to work it, you know, work the intake out and having that up on your website so it's more streamlined and easier for people who are interested in working with you to get onto a call with you where you would close them either onto your existing offer or onto this newer one that you're wanting to move toward. As you start looking at creating more leverage, the first step that I would consider is introducing more video content into your vault where you're serving your
Mm-hmm.
people so that
Mm-hmm.
it's less of there's less of a need for you to be on the call with them to say teach them a concept or have them perform an action. You could use a
Mm-hmm.
video to instruct and then they could have homework or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
I would start migrating or not migrating, I would start replacing some of the things that require you and that person to be one-on-one, where
Mm-hmm.
it's valuable still and capable, putting that into video form inside of that vault. And as you're doing that, you're essentially building out what will be the body of a group program or even a
Yeah.
course. But you're doing
Yes.
that
Okay.
while you're serving the people that you're serving
Okay.
one-on-one.
Okay. Wonderful. Just how do so I'm still at a loss in terms of who I'm selling to because I don't have a list yet.
Yeah, yeah. So
Would there
this
be a
isn't
lead magnet? I do have lead magnets, but I don't have any
okay.
funnels to, draw people to them because I don't know the people.
Yeah, yeah. So the order of operations for creating a funnel is going to begin with what are you giving away, right? So have whatever that is, PDF, video, etc.
Yes. Yes.
And then you're going to create a campaign. So this is an initial
Okay.
nurture campaign. We have in-depth training on this on our AttractWell YouTube channel.
Good. Okay.
So you're going to want to create I think it's called Campaigns That Convert, is the training. So you want to create a campaign. After you have set that campaign up, obviously you want to make sure that the campaign is delivering that lead magnet, and it's also giving a call to action to go book with you. So that intake
Okay.
form for your booking funnel. The next step is to create an authority page. Again, we have a training on this as well. That's essentially where on that authority page, and if you've been through the client funnel challenge, we actually do have a course that step-by-steps all of this.
Yeah, I saw that. Yes.
Yeah, so you create an authority page, and that's where they land after they opt in. And you can
Mm-hmm.
have a quick video there that says, hey, congratulations for grabbing the thing that I created. Hey, real quick, if this is you, A, B, C, D, book a
Mm-hmm.
call with me. And then you're going to put that link to your intake there.
Got it.
And then you would create your landing page and then attach those other two things, and you're off to the races. And so then you're out there creating content, and you're pointing people to the lead magnet. You're pointing people to the call with you. And
Mm-hmm.
you got to, just start showing up and showing out in the places where your ideal people are spending time. And so
Okay.
that could include, networking groups or social media
Mm-hmm.
platforms, or really just wherever
Mm-hmm.
they're hanging out.
Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you so much. This has been very helpful.
Absolutely. So glad you could come out and chat today. Thank you.
Me too.
All right. I hope that was really helpful to you guys. Maybe you see yourself in some similar positions, getting an idea of really what needs to go next. Angelina is someone who wants to offer courses, wants to offer memberships, and that's all stuff that's in the pipeline. But sometimes you just got to get over those first couple of things, get those out of the way, and then everything else becomes so much more doable. I want to thank you guys for your patience. I have Karen and Heather here for work reviews. I want to bring you guys out and chat really quick, and I promise I'm going to get to the Q&A for all of you guys who have asked questions here as well. Here you are, Heather. I'm going to bring you out first, and feel free to unmute. Hi, how can we help?
Hi there. Let me put my other headphone in. So I have a 5-day online challenge that's really designed to help women set goals, achieve success without, sacrificing their health or happiness or sanity. And my sister and I, we host that each month. And I'm balancing work life and all the things. So I'm trying to maybe be a little bit more intentional about automating things. So in my perfect world, I could just tweak a couple things the next month, dates and things like that, update the timer, and then just go. But I'm getting I guess I'm a little bit leery. I'm a little bit nervous about the automations and making sure the campaign's set up correctly. So that's sort of what I want to pick your brain about.
Yeah. So we actually have a training that goes over this setting more or less, and oddly, the topic that we're talking about in that video is a book club. But the gist is that you've got a group, and in that group, you've got discussion, you have some modules, maybe it's just a couple of pages, whatever that looks like. But there's a campaign that people opt into, and it's date-based. And that date-based campaign is going to begin delivering, whenever you decide it's going to. And the shortcut is like this. And this really is like the trickiest part of it. You're a Get Oily user, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So in your campaigns, basically what you would do is to create your challenge campaign, or do
And
you
I
have
do
one
have a
already?
campaign out there
Yeah.
already, if you want to just peek at it.
Is anyone on it already?
No,
Okay,
not yet.
what's it called?
You could probably just search Jumpstart Live.
Okay, Jumpstart.
And there's two. So what the basic process is they register for the challenge, and then it redirects them to a page where they can upgrade and pay for a VIP experience. So I think I have the campaign set up correctly because I've got it date based. What I don't quite know about the next step is right now the campaign that I have set up is kind of that introduction, like, hey, you're registered for the campaign. I have 2 posts that go out, 2 emails that go out the 2 days prior to the challenge, kind of like, hey, here's your prep, here's some free gifts, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have the daily emails, the reminder texts, the replay emails. But where I'm getting stuck is I don't necessarily know how to execute the sort of sales process at the end. So on the 4th day of the challenge, I introduce my program called Unshakable Academy. So I'm kind of, do I add those sales emails to this same campaign and just keep letting it roll?
Yeah.
Is there like a tag and an automation in that particular process? Because what I don't want to happen is somebody registers for the program and then they're still getting, 3, 4, 5 days of like, hey, buy my thing.
Yeah. So when they get into your program, are they going into a vault?
Yes,
Okay.
and that's already
So
created.
excellent. And if they get into the vault, should they complete their challenge?
Well, the 5-day challenge is separate. That's something we host on Zoom and in a Facebook group.
Okay.
The vault is separate for just that academy.
Okay. So I'm understanding correctly. You've got all these people on a challenge, and from that challenge, you're offering something that's for sale.
Correct.
Now, challenge is going on for all of this time, and then midway through, we're offering the sale. And you're probably going to be continuing to offer the sale throughout the rest of the challenge, right?
Correct. The cart's open for about a week, basically.
Okay. So you've got a couple of options there. Number one, the easiest way to just make sure that people aren't getting the sales messages after they've purchased is to either use an automation, or if you have a vault, which you do, that you're selling, then there's a thing called a pre-entry campaign for your vault. So if you take this campaign, this one that we're talking about right now, and you make that the pre-entry campaign for your vault, it will stop sending that campaign if they purchase.
Okay.
So that would be the simple, like, you're putting them into a vault. That's effectively the sales campaign. If you have like a sales campaign for something that you're selling and what you're selling is in a vault, then you just make the sales campaign the pre-entry campaign and it'll automatically stop sending. You certainly can attach an automation to the point of sale in the vault and have that remove a campaign as well. But that is a built-in setting for vaults.
Okay. And if the current campaigns that I have now, so say when I rinse and repeat in March, can I keep those same campaigns without resending it? Like, can I just change the dates and then it will send it to all new people, or is it going to resend it to the same audience again?
So what I would do is duplicate the campaign
Okay.
and rename it. That way no one's on it and has never been sent to anybody. Duplicate it, go in and change the dates, and then you're off to the races again.
Okay, cool. I think that's simple enough. And I think that was really my main questions. I'll think through the other ones and sort of the VIP process. I just want to make sure that the people that upgrade to VIP, I think the other struggling point is how do I make sure that they get the VIP campaign, but I'm thinking I can probably do that with an automation.
Well, that could also be, yeah, you could attach that with an automation to the vault. In your vault setup, you can add all kinds of stuff there for when somebody pays. If they're paying at the vault level, then yeah, you would want to attach an automation that adds that VIP campaign. Or if you're sending them to a page, a sales page, where they would then be added to the vault from the page, you could just attach another campaign there. So it
Okay.
kind of depends on how you're selling it.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, sure thing. Thanks for coming out. All right, Karen, I have two of you here. Karen Sarmento, it looks like you're in here twice. Could you pop your hand up for me and let me know which one of you to unmute so that I can bring you out to chat with us? There we are. Thank you. How can we help today, Karen?
So I have my website, and there were a couple of things I was stuck on trying to do. I'm in the middle of doing a launch, and on my website, one of your colleagues built it with me, and she was awesome. We added a spot to click on the 5-day event, but the 5-day event is ending. So I wanted to remove it, and she had something else in the background, but it was, I don't know, blocked, or she said once the 5-day event ends, we'll take that out and open up the other thing that she kind of had hidden right now. And I didn't.
Okay. Okay. So without knowing, like, do you know what that thing is that's like hidden? Because you're talking about this in your menu right here, right? This 5-day event.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So I was going to remove that. So actually at the bottom where it's the options to work with me, at the bottom, one of them is the 5-day event. Yeah. And she said there's an extra page that I think, is there anything hidden? Maybe I misunderstood.
Here we can double check here. So like maybe a hidden section.
Yeah. No?
I'm not seeing anything
Okay.
right now. So I don't want to mess anything up, but it seems
Okay.
that there may be something else to connect there. But essentially, like once you know what that is, if it's like another page on your site, for instance, then essentially what you would be doing is just coming over to your menu here and yeah, and you would be changing the URL that goes right here, and of course the text for the
Oh,
button.
so I can
You,
just turn that same button into something else.
you certainly could, yeah. Mhm.
Oh, okay. All right. And then part of that, in that same section where it says self-image course, I was trying to figure out how to add a price right there into the link from Stripe. Is it just carrying over the Stripe link?
Okay. In the this one.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see, is this supposed to go to a page or?
I'm going to update that. Right now we hadn't really finished that because we kind of ran out of time.
Got you. Okay. So let's see. I mean, you certainly could add more information to that section down here. So you could put a price in here
Oh, okay.
if you wanted to. Yeah, you just need to be in the content editor and just select whatever the thing is that you want to edit, and you can add in the text if you'd like.
Could the button take them right to the link to pay for it, since it's like a low ticket sort
Yeah.
of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. Depending on where you're selling it, I don't know what you have set up here as a let's see. Send me info about the 4-week self-image course. So this it looks like the lead system that you have set up on your homepage is maybe requesting information about the let me see. After a lead registers. Okay, I don't think anything is set up here to process a lead just yet. But yeah, you could send them straight to a very simple sales page or the Vault checkout page for your course, where they can just head straight over there.
And I would do that through that button as well.
Yeah, you could link it to that button. And you could send it if you have Vault, for instance. So if we go to your Vaults here. Well, if you had a Vault set up, if that's where the course is being delivered, there is an option in the payment options of your Vault. You can actually just grab the link to that Vault checkout page, and then you could link that to the button right here for sure.
Okay. All right, thank you. That's super helpful. And there was one last thing. I have a little news clip that I did, and the lady had sent me the clip, and I was trying to put it on into my website, but I couldn't see how to just start a spot where I would put that.
Yeah, so where is it hosted?
I just have a link to it.
Is it a video?
Yes.
Okay. Are you able to tell if the video is, say, on YouTube or Vimeo or on, like, do you have any idea how the video is hosted?
She sent it from, it's just from WPRI.com, and it's just a link.
Okay, okay. So if you're able to, I would recommend seeing if you are able to download that video and then add it to your videos here on your site. And then you could actually create a section on a page. The other option would be to maybe take a screenshot of the video, show that, and then link it to that website where they can watch the whole clip. That would be another option if you can't download it.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Great.
Great, awesome. Thanks for coming
So
out today,
helpful.
Donna.
This whole entire call is so helpful.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah,
Thank you for
thank you.
coming out. All right, let me just a second. Sorry, you guys. Okay, so we have some questions and I'm going to get to those now. Okay, Blaga Gertzen, brand new. What's the #1 thing I could do to get started and get my coaching client onboarded by Tuesday? Just did my website in 20 minutes following the tutorial. That's amazing, Blaga. I'm so proud of you. 20 minutes, I think that's a new record. Wow, I'm really impressed. Okay, so you want to get your coaching client onboarded by Tuesday. Let's see, do you have a one-on-one coaching session template to use for coaching clients through their one-on-one calls? Okay, so getting into the like, how do you coach people? Everybody comes here with different backgrounds and like different objectives for coaching. So I don't typically have and share stuff like that because your style or how you were trained is just going to be so different from person to person. It's like a thumbprint. But what I would do is write out an outline. What does the scope of work look like, or what are the goalposts? What is the sequence if this is linear? I hope it's linear because it's a lot more easy to obtain, right? And to get people on board with if they're able to see in a straight line, where are they going, right? So get clear on what that looks like so that you can tell them what to expect and so that you can make sure that you're on top of what you need to do. Then obviously you need to have a website. You need a page on your website for your home page. Sounds like you've already done that. Create a work with me page. For now, that can essentially be a sales page for your coaching services. And so on that page, you outline that linear journey. You tell them where this is going to go, how this is going to work for them. And then you take payment on that page. Set it up to take payment. And then you're off to the races. Now, in the beginning, if you're just getting started, you're just going to be on calls with your clients and you're going to use your contact manager and you're going to take notes. Maybe you're going to record your calls, add them to your videos, share them with your clients later. You could just use a link to do that. Keep this very low tech and simple in the beginning because you're going to start to recognize how you can improve. But if you try to go in with like full level optimization just out of the gates, you're going to completely overwhelm yourself, right? So start with the logical things that you definitely know that you need. So you need a page to send people to if they're on your Instagram bio or whatever, or on your business card. You need to be able to collect people who are interested in speaking with you, which is why you want to have a call booking funnel. Which is what I was talking with Angelina about earlier as being a really primary thing because she is selling her coaching clients on working together on calls. If you're doing that, maybe you avoid a sales page and you just get people onto a call with you. But you still do want to really clearly paint the picture of what they're going to get out of working with you so that they're more likely to apply for a call. And then, yeah, get your client onboarded by Tuesday. Basically, all you need to do is establish whatever your agreement is that you want to have with your clients. There's plenty of great templates out there. Just Google coaching agreement template and modify it to your liking. And that is a fine place to start. establish a schedule with your person. If you don't have a digital scheduler yet, Calendly has a free version, and you can embed that form onto an AttractWell site. If you are not ready for that and the tech is just, woo, you can't do it, it's fine. Just work it out, write it down, put it on a Google Calendar, whatever, share it with your person. Keep it really simple to start, and you're going to improve the more that you do this. And again, so proud of you. 20 minutes, are you kidding me? Karen asked, what is a lead funnel versus a sales funnel? A lead funnel is going to be, okay, so I've got a few trainings where I talk about this. If you guys are in the Impact Amplifier Academy, you get this in the fullest detail possible. But we also have this in other trainings and resources in our system. Be sure to check out the AttractWell Success Academy. A lead funnel is going to be like the funnel in the Client Funnel Challenge. A lead funnel is where you capture a lead and you are moving that lead toward a point of conversion. Point of conversion is the point at which someone is able to be pitched and sold and you take money, right? So that is going to, for I think 99% of us here, going to be a one-on-one call if they're going to be a private client, or it's going to be a sales page, sales video, right? Where people are sold in your absence, and you're going to have like a campaign, a sales campaign that drips those messages and helps to close the deal. So a lead funnel is going to be someone opted in to get a free thing on your website, or they want your newsletter, and we're gently nudging them toward book a call with me, or watch my webinar, or head over here and check this thing out. And that is the point at which we trigger the sales process. So the sales process is either manual if you do one-on-one calls, or it's going to be automated. And again, we've got trainings that go into this in greater detail in our courses, where you would have a sales funnel, which is essentially someone is qualified to be sold, meaning they've expressed specific interest in something that you are, that tees them up to be sold to, right? And then you've got a series of messages that, just like your lead funnel nudges them toward a conversion event, your sales funnel nudges them toward the sale. Let's see, I believe it's the correct call to review a business idea submitted a request for. Helena, I think that you might have signed up for next week, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't get a request for that this week. If you go to attractwell.com/work review, then you are able to set up a future time to kind of review work together. So would certainly love to work with you on that, and you can set that up there. And alternately as well, you guys, if you want, let me come over here and still in Karen's account, but look, let's under the Success Academy, we also have this cool thing that's called Get Help from a Real Person. And there are group help calls. And this is where you could actually sit down with Pam from our team, who can specifically just address, like, I need help with this thing, please help me with this thing. And she's absolutely brilliant. She's a great designer. She's an excellent copywriter, and she knows the system inside out. So definitely recommend, if you're not available on a Thursday or this time, this 2 p.m. Eastern US time slot doesn't work for you, that you definitely see about meeting with Pam. She's really great. Yeah, so, oh, I had made a video called How to Do My Website in 20 Minutes, and you did it in 20 minutes. I forgot I said 20 minutes on that one. Excellent. All right. Well, we really appreciate you guys so much for being here and for taking this time. We'll be back same time next week. If you have something that you would like to learn how to do as it pertains to growing your business using AttractWell, send us a message. The calls that we have, just like the one we had today, come from folks reaching out and saying, all right, this is my situation. Can you help me? And sometimes it really just makes sense for us to say, how about we just dedicate a call to it, like we did today. So if that's you, welcome. Let us know. We'll bring you out just like we did today with our friend Angelina. We look forward to working with you guys again. See you next week. Take care, everybody.